Good afternoon. Are you having your lunch? I'm about to have mine. It's just in the oven cooking at the moment. My pre-lunch was there. Missed breakfast this morning, so I had that late as well. So I'm having like two or three meals in about 3 hours. Marvellous. If you're on, let me know. There's somebody on right now, but I can't see who it is. So, I'm not going to motivate you. What am I on about? What does that mean? Okay, I put this in an email as well, actually. You know, people talk about motivation the whole time, and I've mentioned this before. If you rely on motivation to get what you want, you'll fail. Always will. Because motivation gets you so far. Hey, I'm sorry, in Sun City, have you done your rowing, my lad, and did you do it in your t-shirt? Ant's over in Sun City at the moment, and he's found a gym, and it doesn't have any kettlebells, so he's not happy. And Paul, Mr. Rugby Tots, so Ant said, well, any suggestions on what I could do? They've got a row machine, so he's gone on that. I gave him a quick workout to do on that. And Mr. Rugby Tots, Paul Hurley, he said, what you should do is take one of the dumbbells in the gym and go and wrap it around the manager's head and tell him to get some fucking kettlebells. Which I thought was quite funny. Another guy, Dave, who's not with us this week, he's away on some work, business type stuff. Oh, he's in the pool, good lad. So Dave was on some business thing away, and he just posted a picture in the Bath Kettlebell Society group of there was this big gym he was in with all this equipment over there, and then just a picture of a kettlebell on a floor with a big open space around him and no one else in there. They were all on the machines and stuff like that. And he was like, right, got all the equipment I need, and he smashed out a workout. Said he got some funny looks, which means he's doing something right, because usually that's because, you know, you'll be doing something and people are like, what on earth are they doing? But actually getting a decent workout all over body rather than sitting on a machine looking at your phone anyway, which you might be doing now, I don't know. And if you are, that's why you need to come down here. Anyway, I can't motivate you. And well, actually, no, yeah, I can't. And I won't. Hey! Mr. Paul Walt, Mike up, blimey. I am honoured. Just got off a call with Paul, actually. And it always fires me up when we're on there. He's just done an SAS thing, which sounds pretty brutal. And I'm going to end up wanting to do it myself at some point. But I'm going to get this penny fan thing out of the way first and see what happens. Anyway, yes, I'm going to start again. Oh, God, I'm going to be on for ages here. So, motivation. If you rely on... Oh, get yourself out for a round of that as well. Nice one, Anne. You're loving it, aren't you? Absolutely loving it. Have a holiday as well, you know. Anyway, motivation. So if you're relying on other people to motivate you, well, if you're relying on motivation to get through anything, you're always going to fail, because motivation always runs out. I was talking to a couple of guys about this on Saturday at the Bulletproof Mindset thing I did. And it will always run out. It will always run out. And then if you think, right, well, I haven't got the motivation, so I'm going to rely on someone else. Hey, Rugby Tots is playing bingo as well. Best dressed man there, no doubt. Doesn't take much, does it? Like you keep saying. Yeah, if you're relying on someone else to motivate you, that's another step removed. If you've not got the passion or the will or the reason or the why to do something, how is someone else going to give that to you? Because why is someone else going to care about your results more than you do? If you are not the person who cares about your results the most, there's a problem. Okay, in fact, so I'm talking myself out of a job here, you might think. However, it's not my job or the job of the guys who come down to the sessions in the park, the guys in the group, the guys online, the guys in the inner circle. It's not the job of them to provide motivation to the other guys. Not motivation, it's the job of them to support them and empathise with them, because they've all been in the same position. So, if you're thinking of getting started, not necessarily here, just getting started in exercise, getting started to lose weight, getting started to get stronger, fitter, healthier, to be a good example for your kids, to be be a good example to yourself even. You know, to stop lying to yourself, to stop letting that take up mental space, to stop thinking, right, I need to start getting fitter, but I'll just do this first. I need to start getting fitter, but I'll just do this first. And then getting tired from that, you might lose sleep over it as well. I lose sleep over the smallest of things. And then I get them done, and then I sleep well. You know. Anyway, I'm digesting. If you're relying on other people to motivate you, you're setting yourself up to fail and have the excuse that it was their fault as well. And I used to see that a lot, which this is why the stuff we do here at BKS isn't for everybody. Because if you're going to come along and want to be saved, I'm not going to be the person to do that. I haven't got the energy to be able to help with that. If, however, you come along and you're ready and say, right, I've seen the results the guys are getting. You know, I've seen the strength they're building. I've seen the weight they've lost. I've seen the results. The results are everywhere. They're all over Facebook. They're all in emails. They're all over YouTube. The results are everywhere. If you've seen those and you think, right, I want some of that, that's going to be pretty much most of the motivation you need just to get started. Motivation will get you started, but it won't carry you through. And then what will carry you through is the fact that we're a team of guys who will empathise with where you're at right now, because we've all been there. I've been a chubber. I had jubblies. You know, I had a cracking pair, I did. Yeah. You know, I never used to want to leave the house. But, yeah, and I used to get comments all the time. I remember when I first moved down south, I used to work for a company up north, and we got taken over by a company down south, and I moved down. A couple of the guys who I worked with didn't. And it was like being at university but with money, so we just got pissed all the time. And I put on a lot of weight. And I got very, very... I was never fit anyway, but I got very, 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 very unfit. And I went back up north to something I can't remember. I had a bit of a reunion with the people who we used to work with, and one guy was basically just like, "Ooh, you've put on a lot of weight, haven't you?" And thought it was all right to say that for a start, which, you know, is it or isn't it? I don't know. But I wasn't happy with what he said, and it kind of made me feel a bit bad about myself. But I didn't do anything about it for another 3, 4, 5 years. You know, and I remember once my mum bought me a t-shirt for my birthday, came down to visit. This was when I thought I'd got fitter and not ripped, but like I'd lost weight and all that, and I thought I looked quite good. I was happy with myself. And then my mum bought me a t-shirt, brought it down, I tried it on, and she went, "Oh, it'll look nicer when you've lost a bit of weight." And I was like, what? So that put me straight back to where I was. I was quite happy with the way it was going, and then bosh, straight back to where I was before I'd even lost weight. So I went and lost more, and then got too thin. And then what happened was people were concerned with me because they were like, "You're too thin. You're too thin. You need to put more weight." I was like, "There's no winning in this." Okay, so if you're relying on motivation to get you on this, there'll be someone somewhere who'll, you know, or something, or some situation that'll make you feel bad anyway. So you might as well put yourself where you want to be, right? So it's the why of what you do, why you want to do something, not the what you're going to do, because motivation will only get you a certain way. Yeah. So like I say, the guys who are involved here aren't necessarily involved in motivating you, but they're involved in supporting you and empathising with where you're at right now. Because me and the guys have all been exactly where you're at. We were all scared to start. When I first went down to the gym, there was a gym at work, and I just sat in the corner and I did my own thing, kept out of the way, didn't talk to anyone. I was scared. It was an intimidating environment. And it's an intimidating environment to come into a group where everyone's getting stronger. We've had a few new starters this last couple of weeks who've come in, but they've been ready from the word go, and they've seen what the other guys are doing, and rather than looking at it and going, "I'm never going to be able to do that, I'm off, I'm doing one," which is that way, they look at the other guys. So there's one guy in particular who's is very tall, very lean, but he just wanted to get more strength and get a bit fitter, and he's looking at another guy who's very tall and very lean, who's lifting heavy weights over there, not now, and he's not over there, he's over there, anyway, who's lifting heavy weights over there, and rather than looking at that and going, shit, I'm never going to be able to do that, he's looking at it going, he's very similar to my build, I want to be able to do that. And so that's his kind of motivation for now. But if he kept looking at that without anybody helping him through, be like, oh, how do I do that? How do I do that? And that's another thing. It's the how do you do it? How do I get there? So he gets there. So if that's his motivation, that's going to get him so far until he gets to a point where he's like, well, I'm not like that, and it's 3 months down the line. And it's like, yeah, but it took this guy a year to get there. That's all it is. So if you're relying on motivation to get you through something that you hate doing right now, it might get you through to the end, but then what happens? And the likelihood is that it won't get you through to the end because you'll run out of motivation and just give up anyway and go back to what you were doing originally, which is the drift I keep going on about. Anyway, yeah. So that's not my job. My job is to build a group of guys who can all support each other and empathise with each other and know exactly how the other is feeling because they've been there. So in each session, mostly we'll have a good laugh, but there might be someone who's tired, and then another guy will say, well, I was tired the other week, but I got up, came along anyway, did a few bits and pieces, felt great when I left. Or I came along, didn't feel that great, so we just did a load of mobility work, and then I felt great when I left. It's, everybody gets it. Everybody gets it. Everybody knows exactly where you're at right now. So when you turn up, you've got an instant group of supportive people who can empathise with you. It's as simple as that. Or you can carry on relying on motivation. You can carry on trying to get other people to motivate you when actually their goals, their dreams, their why is completely different to yours. Or you can join a group of guys who have all got the same, very similar why and all got the same, very similar goals. I know which is more powerful, and I know which drives me more, and which drives them more. So, it's up to you, dude. See you tomorrow.